People of the internet, that is me, a real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right, we are live on this beautiful April 30th, 2025. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm having a great day myself, and we're joined by Mr. Real Texan Politics. Say hello there.
Hello from a very rainy Arlington, Texas.
Say that again.
Hello from a very rainy Arlington, Texas.
Aren't you supposed to get like a bad storm or something?
Uh, well, they're all moving to the north, so
Okay.
they all bypassed us to the north. So it looks like it's mainly like Denton and McKinney getting it. So we'll see what happens.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about Trump's first 100 days, see how it actually has gone, because it's been 101 days now, I think. Yeah, because day 100 was yesterday, I believe, right?
Yes, so
yeah, now before we get into it, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel. These are all great ways to support the daily content. And if you have any questions, concerns, want to support the channel even further, best way is sending super chats via the chat. Again, I read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way your questions answered. And it doesn't look like we got one right now. No, we don't. All right. Yeah, Luke's apparently sick, so F's the chat for Luke. F's in chat. So we do get some breaking news. It's related to Scott Jennings, actually. So Scott Jennings, for those that don't know, he's the guy in CNN, the guy that goes after people on CNN for being dumbasses. So apparently, it's been reported that Scott Jennings might actually run for the Senate seat in Kentucky.
And he will probably get Trump's backing, from what I think we're hearing.
Yeah, so I want to talk about Jennings real quick. So, is he perfect? No, he's kind of, I think he's buddies with Bush, actually, right?
I actually did not know about that, so
I think so. Let's see. Scott Jennings. Yeah, he had the yeah, he was a Bush acolyte.
Yeah, so I'm a little concerned about that. I'm still hoping for Nate Moores. I don't think Nate has a chance now.
No, I don't. But the thing with the Scott Jennings is, like, he would definitely be a more established Republican, but the difference is he would actually be a good one. Like, he's one of the few that has a brain. He understands the Republican base, that they want Trump. They support Trumpism. He may not be perfect, but, you know, at this point, would we be better off supporting Jennings over Cameron?
I mean, what would you probably compare Jennings to of like the people in the Senate?
That's a tough,
like Tom Cotton, maybe.
I think that's actually a good comparison, like a Tom Cotton type, maybe a bit more moderate, I would say, but
like maybe Rubio before, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jennings would be way more loyal. Like, he would vote Trump, like, with Trump with, like, everything. So, let me pull this up, actually. Yeah, so Scott Jennings is apparently going to run for the Senate seat. I would actually back him, I think, because I don't want to deal with Cameron. I don't want to deal with, who's the other one? Barr, right?
Yeah, Barr. Barr seems to be the current frontrunner, but as it stands now, that's definitely going to change.
Yeah. We better off supporting Jennings than Massey. Yeah, because Jennings is going to vote with you. Massey would be a disaster. So.
Yeah, I mean, Massey's not even going to run. Where does Nate Morris live? Because if he lives in northern Kentucky, I could see him going against Massey.
Oh, he could? Oh, he lives in northern Kentucky?
No, I don't know if he does. I think he lives in Lexington, so never mind about that.
All right.
Okay, so why? Okay, so if he lives in Lexington, why is he not running for the seat there?
Yeah, why couldn't he just do that?
Because he has no chance at the Senate.
Yeah, at this point, Trump's gonna back Jennings, I think. Yeah, I mean, he literally went on stage with Jennings, so.
Yeah, I mean, apparently Vance wanted Morris to run, but that might change. So
we'll see. Great Lakes perspective for 5. I got to go to one Democratic town hall to ask questions, and then I got sick. Lesson learned. Yep, don't go to a Democratic town hall. Puerto Rico has
probably all have.
Yeah, God knows what. Puerto Rico has been a member for 8 months. The chicken jockey generation voted for Trump. They did. They actually did.
I thought it was the thunder. Okay.
And Mr. John Rose joined.
Hello.
So, it sounds like Scott Jennings is going to run for Senate.
Let's see. I actually don't even know what state Scott Jennings is local to.
Kentucky.
Huh.
You know, I'm not opposed to the idea. I'm not.
Yeah, I originally backed Nate Morris, but it seems even more likely that he does not have a chance at the primary. So I'm hoping he will run for Andy Barr's seat because I believe he lives in Lexington or in that region. So that could hopefully help. I know it's not as red of a district without Barr, but I think Morris could still win very easily.
All right, let's see.
Apparently, it's on the DCCC target list. So
good luck. Good luck with that one. Chance Drazek for 5. If old Bush era Republicans were like Jennings and not Bill Kristol or Rick Wilson, the party would legit be unstoppable. Yeah, I mean, that's Scott Jennings. Like, he's not perfect, but he's the only one that has a brain for like the Bush era Republicans. He understands, oh wait, the base wants secure borders. They don't want the Bush crap anymore. So
well, it's funny. He was at Trump's rally that he did, and he said, like Trump said at the rally, is like, listen, Jennings has to, because he's on CNN, he has to actually hold back. He doesn't get to say everything he actually believes nowadays. So that was an amusing thing for him to publicly state, but that, I guess Trump at least thinks that Jennings has a lot more in his back than he lets on CNN.
Yeah. I think he's going to run and get Trump's backing. That's my take. Because why would Trump have him on stage? It seems so random. It's like, why is Scott Jennings on stage?
Why would he have him on stage in Michigan? Though?
Yeah, that's weird. Well, I guess because it's his 100-day rally, but still.
Yeah.
Charlie Howard has been a member for 12 months. Thank you so much, good sir. Simple logic for 2. Lutnick says a trade deal is done. Really? Is this real? Please be real. Lutnick trade.
Yes. We had been hearing yesterday and the day before, Lutnick had said that they were waiting for approval of a deal. And he said that it was like basically waiting for another country and its prime minister and their like parliament to approve it.
It's India, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think so.
Probably India, then.
Because which other ones have a prime minister over in Japan, in Asia?
UK.
I mean, technically Japan.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. We'll see.
I think Taiwan. I'm not sure. Well, actually, we don't recognize Taiwan.
South Korea is a president, so it's not South Korea.
I think Singapore is another one that has a.
What about Vietnam? I'm guessing it's either Japan, Vietnam, or India. If India has a parliament, I don't know for sure. If Vietnam has, I don't know if they do. But
Vietnam, yes, they have a prime minister, but they also have a. Well, they also have a general secretary because they're a communist.
Oh
country.
Yeah, I completely forgot. Okay, so it's either Japan or India from the sounds of it. Then
I'm thinking Japan, India, or Singapore.
Either way, that's big. If you get one of those 3, especially the first 2.
I mean, Singapore's pretty big. I mean, Singapore's a pretty decent sized economy. They're one of the 4 Asian tigers. So
Japan, India, Australia, New Zealand. Australia, New Zealand too, but I think it's gonna be like India or something.
Yeah, but Australia, New Zealand are not Asian though.
Yeah,
they're Oceania.
I think it's India since Vance said that him and Modi agreed on everything that needed to get the deal written. I think it's India. I think it's India then. If we get India on our side, China's gonna bend over just immediately. They're gonna just say, "Fuck this, we're done."
Well, because that's where all the factories can go. Yeah. Like, they can either go to Vietnam, which will work with China, or they can go to India, which might not work with China.
Yeah, it's like these companies be like, "Oh, we can still make cheap products. We just gotta go to India." Charlie Howard for 5. Okay, I just saw someone post something that I have a hard time believing. People claiming that Trump shut down the suicide hotline. That's fake. That's fake. Every time they say something like that, it's usually just like, oh, they got rid of like one aspect of something that could maybe potentially possibly impact something in like 20 years. So
probably just like rage bait for the liberals.
Yeah. Let's see. India equals game over China. Yeah, that's why it's a big deal. If India agrees to a deal, China's in big trouble. China would be in big trouble. Big trouble. So Vietnam is a political borough. Yeah, so it can't be Vietnam then. So it has to be India, I'm guessing. Surely it's India. Surely. Let's see. Australia seems like a slightly less retarded version of Canada. I think they're actually negotiating in good faith, I believe. So we'll see. We'll see. In other news, we do got some breaking news, everybody. Tom Tillis is back in the news. Take guess what he just said.
No clue.
Tom Tillis says he is not comfortable voting for Ed Martin for U.S. Attorney for D.C. Are you freaking serious right now? The one guy doing his job, and they're not going to vote for him. Tom Tillis, everybody. For those that don't know, Ed Martin's the acting U.S. Attorney for D.C., and he's been fantastic. He's the only one doing anything. And, well, yeah, apparently he's not going to back him, which, why? He's one of the few people doing anything. So, Tom Tillis L. Yeah, it's Tom Tillis. What?
Probably too extreme or something.
I don't know. K-Code for 5. India, we have established a new trade deal with the U.S. No tariffs and free trade for a brighter economic future. President Xi, curse ya, Donald Trump. Oh, gosh. Kyle Beckman for 20. The tyrants of the Hawaiian legislature are voting to ban semi-automatic rifles in common possession by civilians for lawful purposes in the millions today without public comment. Goodbye, Second and First Amendments. Yeah, well, that's Hawaii, so I'm not really surprised.
That's how Hawaii works.
Yeah, it's swinging right, but wasn't it like Harris plus 30 still or something?
It was like Harris 20-something, yeah.
Let's check CNN results. Because it swung heavy to the right, I know that. Yeah, Harris plus 23. So it almost got within 20. So wait 20 more years. We got a chance there, but... pretty sure Tom Tillis said he was uncomfortable if Pete Hegseth still voted for him. Yeah, but that was Trump. Trump forced him to vote yes, which he might hear, too. So, I guess. We'll see. We shall see what happens. Harris plus 23. Yeah, so it swung to the right. I mean, didn't Obama win it by like 50? Or something? I'm pretty sure he won Hawaii by like 50. Object classificator for 5. Once India signs, that is the first push of the snowball of other deals that will soon follow, and the end of one of the Dems' biggest talking points. Yeah, so if they get the trade deals done, especially with India, it's over. This whole thing's done. Which, speaking of trade stuff and the economy, we did get some GDP news today. And everyone's panicking because the GDP did go down today. Went down like 0.3%, I think.
0.3%.
Yeah, it was 0.
That means the depression is coming. It's so over.
Well, okay, yeah. So people are panicking. Everyone's saying it's over for Trump. And yeah, so let's be clear. GDP did go down. We've talked a lot about how GDP is a worthless stat. It's misleading. It's not good. Anyone honest with you will tell you it's a pretty shitty stat. But you did know what actually swung in the GDP. Let me pull this up. Let me share this, actually. There we go. Got it. Thank you for sharing that. So, this is the chart that we're talking about. And GDP did go down. But does anyone notice why GDP went down? There's a clear outlier. It's because in the last couple of months, there was a surge of imports, which for those that don't know, more imports makes GDP go down. That's the formula. But imports surged because weren't companies like buying a bunch of shit before the tariffs? Because they're like, oh my goodness, there's gonna be 80% tariff, we're gonna lose all our money. I think that's what happened. So there was an insane surge in imports, but outside of that, look at everything else. Government spending went down. Investment went up by like 4%. Consumer spending went up, exports went up slightly. So all of that happened in the last couple of months is government spending went down and imports went up. Which, again, the import number is going to crash next quarter. So basically there's no change here. In fact, the things that actually matter, like investments, consumer spending, it actually went up. Well, the fake bullshit such as government spending, it went down for the first time since, I think, 22. So, again, it's not perfect news, but it's not as bad as some people claim it is. So, anyways, John, what are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts on the GDP going down is that it went down less than I thought it would go down by. And the other thing is, yeah, when you have a bunch of people panic buying imports due to tariffs, you have the GDP go down. Which also, I want people to think if increased imports decrease the GDP, What do you think happens if imports overall become a smaller ratio of the GDP itself? Like, if we have more internal trade and less importing, have you, I wonder what happens if you do that, like as a general trend.
Yeah.
And my point is just that generally, if we had increased internal trade, interstate trade, and increased production, our GDP would probably just go up as a natural course of it, and it would probably be more substantive, real, a substantive GDP change that people would actually feel locally.
Yeah, I mean, guys, this is what Trump's trying to do. He's trying to get rid of the fake GDP growth that benefits really nobody. The current numbers, they benefit nobody. The last like 20 years has been fake growth. Yes, no, line goes up, but it's impacted nobody except, well, the top like 1%. What Trump is trying to do is say, hey, the GDP is going to affect everybody. It's not going to be some bullshit metric where if imports, or government spending goes up, GDP goes up. Is that really stable? Is that really a stable system to have where our entire economy relies on government spending? And if it goes down slightly one quarter, then it crashes the GDP. That's not normal. That's not good.
Yeah, I mean, this is the whole thing. So imports have been dragging down the GDP growth the entire past half century. And something to keep in mind while talking about this, well, wait a second, why have we never complained about it? Because in the 80s and whenever else we had economic booms, people looked at it and went, well, wait a second, even though we're importing all this crap, the GDP is going up. Huh, that's strange. And the GDP is going up because of the financialization market. It's because of foreign investing. It's because people want our dollar. And when people look at that, they're like, oh, the financial class and the people in Washington, D.C. went, well, we don't have to tell people if this hurts them because this really helps us. It helps the people in D.C., helps the people in Wall Street, doesn't help anybody on Main Street. And that's the problem. The economy has been built to help Wall Street and Washington, D.C. So that's the whole point. It's been harming us. Everybody's finally realized it. We need to have more people realize it so that we can continue going the direction Trump's taking us.
All right. General Hyder for 5. Scott Jennings is going to be a great senator, and why and how that Scott Jennings want to be a senator. He'd be a good one, better than McConnell, but I don't think he'd be perfect. But we'll see. We'll see. American Nerd for 2. With the GDP being down, Vivek will not be happy. That's true. Vivek's not going to be happy with the GDP going down. So,
we made the GDP go down 0.3. Vivek's going to demand 500,000 more Indians in this country.
That's real. American Nerd for 2. What's more fake, GDP or the stock market? I think both are equally fake.
The stock market is deeply speculative right now. GDP, it's only fake when it's completely contextual. You can say the GDP is real depending on what you want the GDP to represent. But if you want the GDP to represent in colloquial terms the general prosperity of middle America, it's been fake for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, the entire economy's been fake. And also, there's been a tweet from Quantus Insights wanted to pull up because he explained these numbers a bit better. Again, go follow Quantus Insights; they're great. So they you have the Elliot Morris, the bozo they used to run 538, the guy that was like, oh, our model shows Harris going to win Wisconsin by 15 points. Yeah, that same guy. So he's saying that this is Trump's recession, blah blah blah, all the Orange Man bad stuff. And Quantus Insights said imports surged, inventories ballooned, core GDP measure, final sales of private domestic purchases rose 3%. That's a better read on real domestic demand, still strong. Final sales of private domestic purchasers is usually a better predictor of future GDP growth. Personal consumption went up. Business fixed investment went up 10%. Residential investment went up 1%. Underlying demand is still moving forward. So this is what Trump it was Becenta actually. Yeah, Becenta I think said a couple months ago that we're taking what was the term he used? To clean up the system, they clean up the toxics in the system. What's it called again? Like a pill or whatever?
Oh, I guess he's referring to we're taking medicine, but whatever it is, the point that Besant and other people are going to make, and I'm going to make right now, is that if all of this is true, if those numbers Quantus Insights is just referring to are true, and we get all the trade deals done, and then the tax cuts by July 4th, the economy is going to rubber band launch in the other direction.
Yeah. And that's what they're trying to do. They're just saying, okay, screw it. The first quarter, it's going to be dog shit. Okay, that's what they even said. They said the first quarter is going to suck because we got to get the economy going. This is fake, and it went down. Which again, they were saying it's going to go down 3%. It went down 0.2, and that's because imports went up because of the tariff stuff. But yeah, the actual economic numbers are looking good. I mean, the investment should like make people very happy. I mean, 10% growth in investment, 2% in personal consumption. This does not scream the economy is going to crash tomorrow. The core GDP went up by 3%. So basically what this means is, yeah, it went down the first quarter, but it's because we're getting rid of the shit economy. We're actually fixing it. We're making it real. And hopefully by quarter 2 and quarter 3, it skyrockets, which it should because we're not going to have a surge of imports. We probably see a decrease in imports, but we'll see. We shall see.
I just want to remind everybody of the overarching narrative. Almost 2 years ago, but not quite 2 years ago, but almost 2 years ago in 2023, mid-2023, Trump sat down with Bessent and a bunch of economic advisors, and he went, listen, I'm running for president again. I'm going to win because I'm Trump. Teach me that we know this whole economy is fake. It's really bad for my voters, and my voters are the middle tax brackets. How do we fix the economy without crashing the economy? And this is what Bessent and everyone else came up with, which is why I hate it. It's like people, oh, I'm on Team Lutnick. I'm on Team Bessent. I'm on Team Navarro. No, like, no, you're fucking stupid. No, the whole thing. This has been planned out for 2 years. It's almost 2 years at this point. This has been planned out. And I would argue that they've used a combination of everybody's strategies together to shock the world. And what some people termed an anti-Nixon shock into new trade deals. And that's the whole thing. If it all works out, we still don't know if it'll work out, but we have a lot of positive signs. And if it comes out exactly how they want it, then it will have all been successful. And that's the narrative. They started 2 years ago. They tried to build a plan. We're seeing that plan right now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, like, guys, they've had years of planning this. It's not like they planned this last week in a basement. They've been playing this for since Trump lost, probably. They're like, okay, screw the who was Trump's Treasury Secretary first term? Was it Munich? Munich? How do you say his name? I forgot his name. The guy was an idiot, but
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah. But it's like, screw that guy. Let's get Scott Bessent and Lutnick here. And again, like, I'm not denying, like, Lutnick and Bessent, they want different things, but at the end, they still want the same thing. Just make America better. They just want to achieve it through different means and focus on different things. So they just said, screw it. Let's throw everything at the kitchen sink. So, American Nerd for 6. Breaking. Fed District Judge Jennifer Thurston has issued an order banning Border Patrol agents from arresting illegal aliens unless they have a warrant, Major L. Are you shitting me?
How does that even make sense?
So, they're not here legally. They're not supposed to be here. They're not supposed to be here. They're not citizens. At some point, can we just ignore these judges? Just ignore them. Hell, even the Wisconsin Supreme Court, they've had enough of their shit. The Democrats in the Wisconsin Supreme Court, they said, no, we're not going to defend Duggan. In fact, I think they stripped her of her position. So, good luck with that. What a joke. Yeah, the Goldman Sachs banker, Steve Munichin. I don't know how to say his name. Screw it. Just the dumbass. We'll call him that.
Munchin,
whatever. Yeah, it's just like Trump's first term, his problem was it was good, but like he trusts the wrong people. This time it's like
he didn't know who to hire, and then like he said it himself in his own words. He was like 100 different people passed through my office, all with different recommendations of who I should appoint to every single office. And the congressional Republicans gave him horrible advice.
Mike for 2. Oil at $58 a barrel. Yeah, I saw that. But yeah, Trump realized that you can't trust anybody in DC. Can't trust anybody. The Wisconsin Supreme Court had to do that because everyone's on the verge of going to jail, and they needed to stop Grandpa from saying the no things again. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't keep his mouth shut, he's going to jail probably. Like, unironically. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish. I think he's going senile. I personally think he's going senile. But, like, the Supreme Court of Wisconsin even said that this is ridiculous. She broke the law. She literally broke the law, and they're like, yeah, maybe we gotta deal with her. Anyways, so, speaking of that, it is the 101st day of Trump's administration. What are you guys' thoughts on his 100 days so far? That's the point of the stream, I guess.
You know, I've checked around just to like give myself a reality check. I've looked at a lot of people that I followed for years prior to this. I think everybody that I listened to all the way up until the election, they're very, very excited and happy about everything. And while you were talking, I've just been going through the list online on the Federal Register of like Trump's executive orders, and like over the course of like the past half hour, I was only able to get up until the start of February because there's just so much that he's done. And I mean, I was writing down a list of everything. Um, Total energy dominance is on Trump's plan, which is important if we want to be exporting goods. We can export energy to the rest of the world and supply ourselves. We have enough resources to do that. And it's a wonderful thing. We're probably going to be up like 100 million barrels by the end of by the end of the year. Production. So we're producing a bunch more oil, producing a bunch more natural gas. We've opened up Alaska for more drilling. We've opened up offshore drilling again, both for oil and for minerals. We've reopened up clean coal. We've done all of this stuff for energy, and we are looking into nuclear power plants, as it has been suggested by conversations between Lee Zeldin and Trump. So energy dominance is going to be magnificent. That's going to make prices of everything go down. It's going to make your gas go down, and it's going to give us something to export to the rest of the world, which will, strengthen our economy. I've got like 10 other things. I'll fire through them real quick. He's been helping a lot with regulation. For every one new regulation, there's supposed to be 10 removed. Also, the mass firings of bureaucrats in the federal government will naturally help because those are the people that make the regulations, and if they're gone, they can't make more. Civil rights lawyers all exiting the DOJ is really wonderful because those were all Obama hires, and they literally were there to discriminate against white people. So that's good. Trump has promoted American values. He's promoted the English language. He's promoted our statues, our figures. He's promoted Columbus Day. He's instated a 250th anniversary to honor our country. So he's trying to restore nationalism again, a feeling of patriotism in our country. He has gone really hard against DEI discrimination at the start of the admin. He had revoked an executive order from LBJ that was explicitly allowing state discrimination, and he did it again earlier. He's trying to completely dismantle disparate impact, which is the one policy, found in like Title VI and Title VII of civil rights. It's used to discriminate against white people in federal law. So he's done a wonderful act there. He's trying to restore the golden standard of science to our health departments, HHS. You guys can look more into that. $5 trillion worth of investment is nothing to scoff at. That is wonderful. He has tried to block taxpayer funding for abortion, defund large portions of Planned Parenthood. He has raised military standards. Recruitment is off the rocks. Trainees aren't being able to, enlist in the military. He's trying to buff up our defense with an Iron Dome. He's trying to end the mutilation of children through transgender crap. He's actually made the issue of transgenderism so unpopular, Democrats are wondering if they have to ditch it altogether. He's deported anti-American radical protesters at colleges, and I know that people get obsessed with the Palestine versus Israel aspect of that, but the important aspect is that they hate our country, and they're gone now, and that's a good thing. He's going against child indoctrination by threatening to defund schools. He's trying to establish a sovereign wealth fund for the country so that we actually have a future. And last thing that I did, and there's a billion other things, but the last thing I wrote down was he is trying to address the flow of drugs across the northern southern border by imposing duties on China, Canada, and Mexico until they help us fix it. So that was what I wrote down. You guys know there's a bunch more.
Holy shit.
Like when you have it laid out like that, Like, what? It's been 100 days. There's been like the fucking magic fairy dust every day. What are you talking about? It's been great. It's been.
Cherokee Bear for 2, MS-13 game member Joe Walsh, General Hydra for 2, No Ducking Way, American Nerd for 10, Breaking from Kilman Coolidge Project, Gina Raimondo, former Rhode Island Governor and Biden's Secretary of Commerce, says she is considering running for president in 2028 for the Democrat Party nomination. Who? I have no clue who that is.
Well, former governor of Rhode Island and former Biden cabinet.
Yeah, but I've never heard of her. But yeah, I mean,
Wait,
like,
Ireland raised tariffs on us until we take Rosie O'Donnell?
Wait, what?
Actually, I have before. Gina Raimondo
DK Sports in chat.
Gina Raimondo was very unpopular as governor.
Ireland just raised tariffs 135% until we agree to take Rosie O'Donnell. No, they could keep her. Keep her. All right, so here's my take. Actually, I'll read this. Chris Creative for 5, B- for me, 125,000 deportations is sad. Has to get all the benefits cut for illegals' ability to rent. Dem machine has to be totally crushed. Okay, so here's what I'll say, okay? My personal take is, this is a better term than Trump's first term. I think everyone can agree to that. This is far better. Now, how good? That's the real question. How good of a term is this so far? And personally, I think it's a B+. In my opinion, I think right now it's like a B+ or an A-. The reason that it's not like A+, which it could be, is because 1, I want to see the trade deals. 2, which the trade deals looks like it's going to happen now. It's a matter of time, which I wish you would have done this earlier, but fine, whatever. 2 is the issue of the war in Ukraine, which I know that's not 100% his fault. Freaking Zelensky's a dumbass, and same with Putin. They're both dumbasses. But, and number 3, I would say, is the immigration issue. But here's what I'll say to that. Guys, the deportation numbers look small in comparison to other presidents. The difference is these are actual deportations. What was happening under Obama was not actually deporting people. All they were doing
kind of turn away.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we turned you away, goodbye. I'll come back in 5 months. You'll come in. That's what they did. What we're doing is, oh, these people are actually gone. These people are actually gone. We never have to see them again.
And you have to remember, like, in Obama's, like, when at the start of Obama's second term, ICE had more like actual resources than they do today, and that's been a big thing. That's a long-term thing you have to fix. And if you're worried about that, well, it looks like we've actually directed Congress through Tom Homan's pleading to like balloon the budget of ICE and deportations massively over the next decade. So I only expect the numbers to get better. The White House said this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. I think everybody, one person in chat accused me of glazing, but let's think about exactly what I did there. I said some complimentary things at the end. The rest of my little dabble there was just me reading things he did. That was all I was doing. I was reading things he did, and I didn't even get through all of it. And there's stuff like right above what I just said that I would love to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, like, he did a lot. Like, people cannot deny he's done a shit ton. People make it sound like, oh, he's done nothing. No, he's done a lot. He's done a lot for America. Is it perfect? No, there's some issues we've got to deal with. But we're only 100 days in. And we're gonna start seeing the impact of some of the stuff about now. We'll see, but
here's two more things I care about that are just above the things that I was reading. He has created an office and essentially an organization within the federal government to eradicate anti-Christian bias inside of our federal government, which is probably one of the single most important things that we could do, since we are going to not survive as the country that we were started as without having like pro-Christian sentiments or people who are at least going to tolerate Christianity. So eradicating anti-Christian bias, it's not a perfect organization he set up because I don't like the leader, but I really very much like that office existing and continuing to exist. And the second thing is that he has completely 180'd our foreign policy attitude towards certain countries. He has condemned South Africa for what they are doing to their native white population. The absolute horror of being killed on your farm and having it basically taken, and the government being like, not only do we not care that you get murdered, but we're actually just going to allow them to reappropriate your farmland to them. Like this is the most horrible thing, and it happens on a regular basis. And he even offered, even though I don't know if many South Africans will take it up, he offered to let those white South Africans take refuge in our country. That is that is a 180 difference from anything we have been doing for decades. Holy crap. If you don't like that, you just don't have a heart, you don't have a soul, and I guess you just really don't like successful, prosperous societies. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyways, yeah.
That, again, like, we'll see. A lot could happen. Maybe Trump falls apart in the next couple of weeks. I don't think he will. But on that note, we also got some more news that apparently people looked more into the recent report. And apparently for the first time since Trump's first term, let me pull this up. Yeah. The last time, oh, excuse me. So, for the first time since Trump's first term back in 2019 and 2020, the federal interest payments on our debt went down. It actually went down for the first time in many years. 5 years, actually. Remember when people were saying Doge was doing nothing? Remember that? I remember that well. Let me share this with you guys. Yeah, so apparently the interest is going down. The interest is actually going down, and it's first time in 5 years. So that's a good thing. I mean, people are going to say, oh, that's because of whatever reason. But no, it's actually going down. Now, it should hopefully collapse the next couple of years, but it's a start. It's about damn time it doesn't just keep going up.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it kept going, look, listen, we were at the breaking point, guys. If it kept going up, we weren't going to be able to pay it anymore, and we were going to have to default on our loans. That would be a severe crushing event for our economy. So it is a great thing that it's going the other direction.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's just a couple months, but it does seem like the Doge effect, it's real. It's not as big as we thought it was going to be. That's one complaint I do got. But it does seem like it is going down. It does seem like it is going down a little bit. Is it perfect? We'll see, but...
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say, because you guys are giving letter grades and everything, the reason I give him an A, and the reason I say it's like pretty much exactly what Trump is capable of doing and what Trump should be doing with all the roadblocks that we knew were going to be in his way anyways. Again, I told you guys on a previous stream, I just come from a much more black-pilled perspective where I had given up on politics for several years, and now I'm back here in the game because I see things can be done. I give it an A. And my perception of the people that are like offended by the roadblocks that we knew were going to be there, obstructing Trump's business and obstructing deportations and obstructing all these things that the judges are doing and obstructing Doge and all this stuff. Like, I just think you guys are impatient. Like, that's my perception of it. And it may not be true. I'm not saying that I'm like an arbiter in all things, but my perception of like people that like constantly complain about this and accuse me of glazing or whatever else, you're just impatient and kind of acting childish, if I'm going to be honest.
I'm actually do a poll on this. Grade Trump's second, hold on, first 100 days. A, B, C, D. Curious. Mike for 5, B- so far, more of a pragmatist, and I can recognize that we need these trade deals to happen and tariff drama to subside soon. The economy over everything else. Oh, I agree with that. Like, I agree with the fact that we gotta get trade deals done. That's my concern. But they're saying they got a deal done with somebody. They got a deal with somebody, surely. Surely they got something. Surely they're not lying. Alright, so the plurality of people are saying an A for Trump. But about 40% are saying B.
Like, we could divide it. We could be like, how is the overall government doing? Congress plus Trump? And then I'm willing to go to B- or even C+.
Congress has been worthless.
Like, I'm willing to do that. But if we're just talking about the executive branch, this is a dream come true.
Yeah,
I don't care.
It's the start of something great. We'll see the next couple of years the full impact of it. We're not going to see it immediately. But alright, so yeah, it's basically an A and B. That's the majority of people. Only 70% said D. So And A, we have a president again. Yeah, we have a real president.
Yeah, when the bar's that low, it's always an A.
Yeah, it's always an A. Hey, we got something that can function. Let's see. There must be no stimulus if we go through a recession. We're not going to. You know, that's the weird thing. If we do have a recession the next couple of months, which I don't think we will. Well, I think we'll have a technical recession, but not a real one. You know what I'm saying? But I'm curious, if there is some kind of recession, what if Trump just says no stimulus? Would this be the first time in modern history where there's no stimulus for a recession?
I mean, it would be a wonderful thing because Keynesian economics doesn't work, but I mean, we don't know.
Let's see. Where was that interest payment graph from? That's from it's an economist. I forgot who. Dr. E.J. Atoni, the Bureau of Economic Analysis. So,
by the way, the Keynesian economics not working is the same reason why, like, trying to increase birth rate doesn't magically get fixed by giving mothers money. Well, sorry, Trump administration.
Well, it's part of that is also like the Hungarian model. The more you look at it, it's not really the best way to do it. But
I know other people, other individuals who are promoting ideas from failed regimes of the past century that you can probably inference, and they suggest doing the same thing here, not realizing that that very same scheme sent those regimes into almost financial collapse, and the only reason they didn't financially collapse is because they went to war. They went to war to cover up the fact that their economy was crashing.
Yeah. I do think, though, that the, like, personally, we gotta get the birth rates up. Obviously, I've argued, though, it's not just the money stuff. That's a big reason, though. Like, people can't afford a house, they can't afford raising kids. That's, like, half the reason. The other half is, you know, the culture's so bad, people don't have the incentive. Like, what's the point? You know, the culture's so shitty. Like, it's a bad thing for kids now.
The Carl Benjamin spoke at like a natalist conference, and he actually, like, I'm not like a promoter of all of his content, but that was actually one of his better speeches. If you want to watch it, it's like 20 minutes. Go look it up on YouTube. And yeah, like, my general idea is promote the social status of women having birth, have it actually be meaningful, because think about the term stay-at-home mother. Stay-at-home mother is this derogatory, demeaning term to refer to a woman who is doing the thing that women have done for thousands of years. That is fundamentally fucked up society when you have basically a slur to describe women that are normal.
Which is insane. It's not a bad thing to be a stay-at-home mother. That's crazy to say that. But people do.
Yeah, so yeah, none of that. But I mean, if we're talking about the middle tax bracket, I don't mind giving tax relief. Like, give tax relief to people having children in the middle tax bracket. That would be really good. I think that would be a wonderful thing to do.
My take has always been just do negative income tax, be done with it. That's my take on it, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Sadly, that idea is never gonna happen. But
it's like but at the end of the day, the subsidized poor, if they do produce more children, they're not going to produce the children that the government or the economy wants, because they're kind of trapped in a loop of being subject to the federal government. Democrats want those people. We don't. We want productive people that actually contribute to the tax. We want people that contribute to society, contribute to the GDP, contribute to everything else. So if you want that, you need to find ways to relieve, expand, give promotion to the middle class. Those are the people that are going to make your babies. Like, get out of the subsidized poor class, right above that bracket, and then give all those people the resources they need to have lots of children.
That's the current welfare state, by the way, guys. Like, our current welfare system keeps people poor. We've talked a lot about this. That's why I'm saying just get rid of it. Just replace it. Just do the negative income tax and be done with it. It's the fairest way to do it. It makes people want to work more. Because right now it's like, oh crap, if I earn $1 or more, I'm gonna lose all my benefits and I'm poor. I'm worse off. So, yeah, that's just my opinion on it. I still think child tax credit's the best thing to do. That's just my opinion. I personally support that. But I do think like there's got to be some kind of regulation because, like you're saying, there are some people that have like 50 kids and they don't do
Well,
anything
and
in
like I'm not
society.
saying this hypothetically. Look, I lived a portion of my life in a certain small town in the deep south, and I worked at a place where I knew two women exactly like this. And they had minimum wage jobs, but they supported families of 8 and 9 children respectively, and one of them was pregnant because why not? And that's because like they are so poor, they figure out how to game the government to get everything they need to continue supporting them. They literally have more babies because the welfare state screwed up. They don't move up in society, they don't move up in income, they don't become more successful, they just have more babies. And that is a very bad system. Terrible system.
Yeah, that's awful. Again, I I just don't know how you deal with that though. Like because if you encourage like people to work more, it's like it kind of defeats the purpose of having like promoting healthy families. Like because if both parents have to work, that defeats the purpose of it. It's like what do? Do you just not have it?
Well, it's not that you force families into working more hours, but you create incentive systems for families to increase their skills and their trades and their proficiency so that they move up from the minimum wage job into
That's actually
managing a small business
I
or
didn't think about that way before.
doing basic bookkeeping for businesses, doing all this other like there's a bunch of jobs that people can move up into, and it's like a lot of them are just certification programs, and you just have to create incentives for them to move up the ladder. It's baby steps. That's all it is.
All right, polite rude guy for 2. Trump 2028 is happening. Oh gosh, polite rude guy. I'm sorry to break this to you, but it's not gonna happen. Trump himself even said it's not gonna happen. He's just trolling. American
Yeah, and
Nerd.
then Caroline Levitt repeated it.
Yeah. American Nerd for 5. Random history fact: 80 years ago today, evil Austrian and mustache man of Germany offered himself in a bunker like if the pathetic coward he was. Oh yeah, it's today. Rip Bozo. Yeah, that's man, 80 years already. Wow. But yeah, I just think that I don't know. There's got to be a way to like. I think the number one thing you can do is just make housing cheaper. Not do what Democrats want to do and have shit housing. I'm talking about actually like build actual houses, not dense urban shitholes like that. I mean that's their solution. Their solution is not to build actual housing. No, they just want to build like shitty apartments or one by one and just cram a bunch of people into a single like building. That's not what people
And
want.
I do want to say, not only has the federal government taken a keen interest in helping local communities build more housing, as we saw with the cities conference Vance went to, the Department of Interior is working with urban development to make those cities Trump promoted and talked about during his campaign.
Yeah.
So that is housing. I
Real
know some
housing.
people don't like. I know some people don't like that, but they also don't realize how much land the federal government owns. And so federal government using their land to build housing is not a bad thing.
Yeah. Democrats. Hold on. Section 8 houses. Yeah, basically the Democrats that like they're panicking now because they're realizing their policies suck, and that's why everyone's leaving their states. So their solution, and these are their experts on the left. Their solution is build those shit housing, like the housing that has like 100 families. They each get like a 10 by 10 square area, and that's it. People don't want to live like that. Why do you think people move into Texas and Florida? To just live in a shitty apartment? No. It's because it's just cheaper. Just get, like a good house. Let's see. Housing was affordable everywhere, even places like San Francisco until the 1970s. Smart growth policies destroyed housing affordability. Yeah. Everything was fine till the 70s. Of course. It was the 70s that kind of killed this country, but yeah, I mean housing was affordable back then. But now no one can afford a house, and the people that have houses are like 80 years old and they don't care. The boomers control everything. Right. BlackRock is buying all the normal houses. That's overstated. I know that's like an issue, but That's not why housing's gone up this much. That's like the number 5 reason. It's more so everything else. So, 90% of Nevada land is federally owned. Yeah, it's like 90%. And I think Lombardo of Nevada, he said they made a deal or something. I don't know. I think he mentioned that they're going to build housing there. So, very interesting. Very interesting. First, they bar the corporate entities from buying up properties. Oh, I agree, but like, I don't think it's going to be as impactful as people think. I don't think it's going to decrease prices overnight by half or whatever. Anyways, do you see that polling candidate is trying to sue a 16-year-old? Oh yeah, you guys hear about that?
Yeah, what is it, like a cease and desist for some tweet? I don't know what it was.
So you have this, I'm gotta be careful what we say because I don't want to get sued, but you have this deranged individual from Canada, and there's this, guy on Twitter who's like a 16-year-old or something, and he predicted the election perfectly, and he called out a pollster for being basically fake. And what happened is apparently that polling account, they work for that pollster, and they're suing them now for being right. Welcome to 2025, everybody. What if we give tax breaks to families with one income source? You know, that's not a bad idea. Because
by the way, have y'all heard about the background of Sri Thanedar?
Yeah,
the guy.
I'm not gonna talk about it on stream. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but
this guy's like the most famous member of Congress now, and we're finally hearing about his background, and it is not good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we heard more now, and it's even worse.
What now?
Oh yeah, did you hear? What is it, that the lab thing?
Well, yeah, that's one thing, but I actually saw, I think it was right before I fell asleep, I saw more. Oh yeah, no, it was from Data Republican, actually. Congressman Sri Thanadar's conflict of interest here. I'm going to put this in general for you.
Oh, Data Republican.
But yeah, Data Republican. Yeah, it's been floating around that Sri Thanadar's left beagles to starve in a building when his company went bankrupt in 2010. But what's not mentioned is that his successor company, Avamine Analytical Services, appears to be receiving federal money and got a massive influx of federal spending ever since he became a congressman in 2024 and continues to accelerate in 2025.
Oh. How
pretty sure he got elected to Congress before then. Did he?
I thought he got elected before, yeah.
He got elected in 2023, actually, yeah.
Point is, like, this is corrupt as hell. I mean, guys, listen, you know my problem with this whole thing is? He's never be held accountable. Unless the DOJ does something, but I don't know. Like, how do these people... Where do Democrats find these people from? Where?
The same place that they're in all the time. It's in the garbage. They find them in the garbage bin because these are all garbage human beings.
Like, I don't know how you find these people. Like, you have to, like, dig deep in the bottom of the barrel. Like, you're digging below the barrel at this point for these people. You're like, you went through, like, the crust of the earth. You're in China at this point. Like, what the hell? Well, I guess India in this circumstance. Anyways. But the point is, it's like... Will he even lose a primary? Because I know there's a big primary challenger now, but... Will that be
I thought he's like in Detroit or something.
Yeah. I hope he loses, but... I don't think so.
I doubt it. I mean, he's a South Asian in Detroit. So...
Alright, American Nerd for 5. So the Dem solution to the affordable housing crisis is basically just to build 21st century equivalent of the tenements of the late 1800s. Yeah. It's literally to build a bunch of shitty one-by-one housing. That's literally all they want to do. Not build actual houses, build shit apartments that no one wants to live in. So, great. Alright, look at what Valentina Gomez did yesterday. Oh, I saw that. Can we just get rid of Gomez? Please.
Didn't we agree that she's kind of like a plant?
Yeah, she is.
Well,
Again, listen.
she's
I'm
trying to be
gonna be
another
clear.
Laura Loomer.
Oh yeah, that actually makes sense.
Wait, what?
That actually makes sense.
What do you say?
She's basically
Trying to be another Lana Loomer.
I guess.
Yeah. I think she even like admitted it. Like I think she basically her dream was to see Laura Loomer as president and her and Valentina herself in Congress.
All right, Rye Guy for 5. I can't stand urbanites like City Nerd and City Beautiful. They are so annoying. Yeah, I mean, again, like I have nothing against cities. They can be done beautifully, but they literally just want slop. It's like
Yeah,
the urban,
wookable. Yeah, those are like the wookable cities.
yeah, that's like the
people.
urban slop. And there's something again. There's nothing wrong with having cities that are walkable. That's not the issue. These people, the type they want, like, oh yeah, you have to walk 15 miles there and back to just get to a restaurant or something. No, that's not what people want.
I mean, I do support public transit, albeit I'd like to also, see more law and order to make them safer. But
yeah, public transit itself is not bad, but like, you have to have it done good and correctly. But anyways,
I like trains. Trains are cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, build more high-speed railing. I agree with some people on that, but
maybe I'd like. I mean, I'm fine also seeing more apartments or whatever built on slabs of parking lots. I'm fine with that.
But just don't replace housing with it. Don't make it where we're China 2.0, where it's like, oh yeah, 10 million people live in a 5x5 building. And
we need to nuke all the suburbs and build a bunch of high rises.
Yeah, they're all shitty, and they all look
and
not even good ones.
Cities.
Like if they were built like the early 1900s, that I could be fine with that. It's like the modern shit. They're just blocks. It's like you made a Minecraft in 5 minutes. That's what it looks like.
Shipping containers, basically.
Yeah.
Literally, go to Austin, Texas. You'll see this.
That's disgusting. I'm glad Trump addressed that because listen. My theory is if you build housing in like buildings with aesthetics, like actually have aesthetically pleasing, buildings, it's gonna make people more happy. It's gonna make people like more calm because if they just see like these beautiful buildings, they might be more relaxed. Because if they just see the slop we have right now, I don't think people like that. So, Fly Rude Guy for 2. I agree with Gomez. We are a Christian nation. Okay, can we talk what Gomez did yesterday?
Actually, before I do want to going back to architecture. I want to bring up something that someone proposed for like a new RFK stadium.
Oh yeah, for those that don't know, the Redskins are moving back to actually DC. And somebody proposed this, and I agree. Somebody wants a stadium to look like this. It's not going to look like this, but why can't they build it
I mean, if it's going to be built in Washington, D.C., then Trump might have some say in it.
Oh, yeah, because the federal government's involved with it, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Washington, D.C. They own it. It's owned by the federal government, so...
Yeah, I mean, like, I would support this. Make it like a Coliseum type. I mean, this
looks like it looks like the old soldier field before they turned it into a spaceship.
Yeah, it looks like shit now. This is what I think the stadium should look like. Instead, it's going to look like this. Which, I mean, this ain't bad. I mean, it's kind of cool to see like the Capitol in the background, but like you're in DC.
I mean, honestly, if it was up to me, maybe combine them both. Like, keep the view of the Capitol, but still make the exterior look like...
Yeah, just make the exterior look like that, at least. Then I'll be fine.
And maybe the interior to some extent as well.
More LARPing!
What?
That's all I have to say. More architectural LARPing, please.
Yeah, but anyways, Valentina Gomez.
Hold on. Right Guy for 5. We should only do high-speed rail for places between Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Canada, not from New York to LA. Well, I'm just saying build more. It's going to help a lot for people. Kenneth H for 2. Did you guys see the dumpster fire ABC interview? Oh yeah, freaking Trump went off on that guy. That was beautiful. American Nerd for 2. Bring back Eisenhower-like building projects. I agree with that. K-Cup for 2. Dan Snyder's flailing right now. Oh yeah, he is. He's pissed off. But
Dan Snyder, wait, not the Nickelodeon guy. No, the other.
He was a former owner of the Redskins, and then.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. There's 2 of them. The other one's the Nickelodeon feet guy.
They're both They're both terrible people in different ways. So
yeah.
all right, let's talk about Valentina Gomez.
Okay, so basically, she infiltrated a Muslim rally in Austin, Texas. I think she put on a hijab to infiltrate it, and then she took it off and started ranting about Islam and pedophiles and stuff.
Listen, can I just have the floor for a second? Let me explain this. Listen, I disagree with Islam as religion. Obviously, I'm Christian. This is not the way to deal with it. Like, if you want to have people convert, do you really think this is the way to do it? Tell them, you're all pedophiles, you're all rapists, you're all horrible people. Do you really think this is the way to do it?
I think she literally wants I think she wants like every single Muslim deported or like put in.
Listen, I don't have a problem. Like, listen, going after what's happening in Texas right now, that's fine. I support that because that's bullshit. But this is not the way to do it. This is not the way to make people realize they're wrong in their ways. Not to say Islam is a religion of incest, rape, and pedophiles. You're awful people. You should be deported. Like that. Do you really think that's to get people to change their religion?
You know, Charlie Kirk. You know, I was watching Charlie Kirk's show a little bit today before I came on the stream, and Charlie basically said, like, you know, if you want to move to Plano and assimilate to our culture, fine, but don't build this, you know, restrictive community for Muslims only, or you know, if you're going to do that, build it in Riyadh, build it in Lebanon, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's extremely dangerous to our national security, and I don't say that as if I assume every single person in that community is going to be a terrorist. But we do know for a fact, as a matter of statistics, both in this country and out of this country, in the West in general, that you know, dangerous people are inevitably hidden in these communities, and because their views are seen as like kind of a more purist form of their religion, their co-religionists don't speak up because they just think, oh man, that guy's really devout. How can I possibly like warn the FBI he's about to bomb a station?
Again,
this actually happens. This actually happens, and people need to go. Like, how many? Again, it's like one of those things. How many more trucks apiece do you need to get the idea? And with Valentina Gomez, we're completely concerned about, in general, the way that she went about this.
Yeah.
The way that you go about this is not look. If Valentina Gomez was trying to affect change, if she was trying to use her personal opinion about Islam, which probably isn't too far off from my opinion of Islam personally, like if she's trying to do that to like go further or try to help us like have a more cohesive country, there's like 1,000 other ways she could have done it. You don't show up to the place where the Muslims are hanging out, interrupt whatever the crap they're doing, and then yell a bunch of crap. It's just, the optics are terrible, the consequences are terrible. It's like it's people that like cheered on. This is horrible, but people that cheered on the Christchurch shooting in New Zealand. The second the Christchurch shooting in New Zealand happened, the like leader, like the prime minister of New Zealand or whatever her name is, immediately put on like a hijab, and then started like doing like Muslim prayer out in the open with everyone. Like, bro, if you supporting retarded people being violently anti-Islamic, like around Muslims, it doesn't make the country more anti-Islamic. It makes the country more pro-Islamic because they're like, oh, I'm a white person. I have empathy, and I have empathy for these people being treated so horribly. So I now hate the people that may have, again. And at the end of the day, I think Valentina Gomez is fake. I don't think she's real. I don't think she's a real person. That is the primary issue with this.
Again, like, listen,
it doesn't help, and it's really bad.
You can oppose what they're doing in Texas. That's I'm fine with that. But what she's saying, she's basically saying these people are horrible because they believe in a different religion, like they're all pedophiles and stuff. Which she did the same thing with Catholics a couple months ago or a couple of years ago. This is how you isolate people. This is how you cause racial tension. Like, if you really care about converting people, like, just have casual conversations with them. Just don't go on their stage where they're having an important event, whatever they're doing, and say, you're all horrible people, you're all pedophiles. Like, really? The average
if Valentina Gomez was like, if Valentina Gomez, yeah, I mean, like, again, it's like one of those things. We've all know one or two Muslims in real life, and oh man, my psychiatrist is so wonderful, and he's from Egypt and he's Muslim. Oh, my dentist is so wonderful and he's Muslim. He's from Pakistan. Look, that's not the point. And the point is, if Valentina Gomez wants to fix things, She should be advocating for different immigration standards in Congress or like, in everywhere else.
Which she's trying to
She
run
needs
for
to
anyway.
like she needs to be advocating for actual change in who we let in the country, not yelling at the people that already made it here. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, all you do is isolate people further, cause more racial tension, because people are not gonna like listen to you then. They're not gonna listen to anybody. Be like, oh, screw you guys. You all think we're pedophiles? We're not gonna talk to you. Just stupid. American Nerd for 3. Not all Muslims are bad. Some of them voted for Trump. Like, listen, this whole crap of like, this is the way to do it. It's not. It's not the way to go after this religion. Just talk with them. I mean, there's a bunch of Muslims converted, which they're not admitting to. There's literally a phenomenon happening where they're having like visions of Christ and stuff, and they're converted. Just have conversations with these people. The average Muslim's not batshit crazy. They're not. So, Chance Transic for 5. Murray, you think McCain and Romney were bad candidates? Joker, I do. And I'm tired of pretending they weren't. Low ripping on rhinos would never not be fun. That's real.
Yeah, I'll say the average Muslim isn't batshit crazy, but Valentina Gomez is.
Oh, she's nuts.
Yeah, and again, she's running for Congress. She's running for Congress. Actually, I think that's one of the reasons why she switched from Houston to Austin, so she'd be closer to the Capitol and all that sort of stuff.
All right. Yoshi fan Nick for 10. I went to an event over the weekend. Someone running for delegate of Maryland. Kim Klacik was there, and Kim herself told me she doesn't plan to run in 2026. She is going to help local races. Can we get W's to chat? Can we just celebrate that news?
What?
No, Kim Klacik. She's not running for anything.
I mean, well, yeah, but you also got to realize we got a clone of her in Dallas, so.
Oh gosh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, it's not all good news.
Let's see. Gomez doesn't have the maturity to be anywhere near politics. Well, it's not just that. She's just a dumbass. Is it cutting out? Is my mic cutting out? Refresh the stream. Again, sometimes when the mic cuts out, you just gotta refresh it. So, yeah, speaking of that, so you guys see Whitmer spoke at Trump's rally yesterday? Why did she speak?
I did.
What the hell's going on with Whitmer?
I think she's realized that for her like actual future, that it's probably better. Whatever happens for her in the future, it's better for her to have a positive relationship with Trump than a negative one.
Yeah, but that's kind of the thing is that the primary electorate of 2028 is going to be made up of people who want they want people who will throw Trump in prison without due process.
Well, I get that, but I'm starting to think maybe Whitmer's starting to notice the internal decay of the Democrat Party too. And I'm not I'm not saying Whitmer's a good person. I don't like Whitmer at all. But I am saying that she's a very cunning political operative. And so my assumption when she does stuff like this, it now seems to be a political calculation. I think she's made a calculation and she's executing it. I don't fully understand what she's doing by it, but I'm not discounting her. She might be trying to do something.
I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but what if she switches parties?
It's not.
I would hate it. I would hate.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, why would she do this? Because politically, it makes no sense when you think about it. She wants to win a primary. She's done.
I mean, she probably. I mean, I could again see maybe she does want to. I guess want to give the olive branch to like. I mean, she was elected. She was also elected by Republicans. Let's be real here.
Yeah, but she's never been like this before.
So I mean, she's probably thinking that maybe she could win a general election by extending the olive branch to these people, but that's just
here's an idea. What if between now and the time when the time comes, the already unstable Democrat Party leadership completely collapses? They're completely hopeless. They don't know what to do, and Trump is really popular, and then the Democrats need to put forward a candidate that claims she will continue Trump's work, but do it for Democrats and do it in a fair and equitable manner.
That's actually an interest. Well, but the problem is, like, the party's just going to get more radical. That's a problem. Like, I see it becoming more... Because, like, the only way it could happen is if the progressives all leave, which that's never going to happen. These people batshit crazy. But
I'm not saying I understand what Gretchen Whitmer is doing, but I do think it's calculated. That's my opinion.
U.S. Army for
I
5.
also could. I mean, I think also in Trump's point of view, it could be like 3D chess to basically, and maybe he's someone that saw Gretchen Whitmer as a general election threat to JD Vance, and he's trying to alleviate that.
I don't know, because Whitmer posts stuff on Twitter
Possibly.
also, so it's not just like she's there. She's posting stuff on Twitter. So
Yeah, she said thank you on Twitter. She said thank you.
Yeah, I can see her trying to be more bipartisan, but yeah, this is gonna hurt her like a.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because the primary
insane.
electorate's schizophrenic at this point. These people really believe that it's all a grand conspiracy. Russia owns Trump. The Martians control the presidency. Like, that's who these people are. They believe that crap.
Yeah.
So
They will not vote for somebody unless they basically call to imprison Donald Trump
or kill him.
without due process. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be? I don't think it's gonna happen, but I had a really funny idea. What if she's supposed to be an independent spoiler candidate in the future? Like, you know how Ross Perot basically kept George H.W. Bush from winning in 92?
I guess. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. Like, that's an amusing idea to me, but I don't think I don't know what she's doing.
She wants to be the White House. So why would she? I don't know.
I have no idea what she's doing.
I think she just doesn't understand who the primary electorate is going to be. She's, I think, trying to reach out to the general electorate, but
Yeah.
at the same time, she's basically.
All right. U.S. Army for 5. Is just Trudeau worse than Adolf Hitler and basically progressive neo-Nazi? No. What?
That's, I don't know. That's
Thanks
a
for
little...
super chat though. But okay. Anyways, hold up. We got breaking news, everybody. Breaking. Hakeem Jeffries is telling Democrats he doesn't want more trips to El Salvador.
Yeah, I think they realize they're not. I mean, well,
it's not working. I mean, let's look at the Emerson poll. I forgot to bring this up. Emerson College. It's like a 50-50 poll for approval. Right now, Trump is up by 1 over Harris in a 2024 redux. Not a single Trump voter regrets their vote, even though his approval sunk.
Yeah, I think there's people who disapprove of him that would still vote for him.
Because
I mean,
look at the opposition. Look at the opposition right now. Would anyone vote Democrat at this point? Any sane person?
Maybe they'd vote Democrat if it wasn't Kamala Harris or, you know, maybe someone that's actually sane. I don't know.
We'll see.
Which there's not going to be a sane person running. Speaking of which, actually, there was a interesting chart I saw yesterday, and I want to bring this up. If I can find it here, I sent it last night to a group chat.
American Earth for 2. Democrats now the Lyndon LaRoche party. Oh gosh, here's the super chats. He realized that Dems DMS 13 wouldn't be a good for Democrats. Yeah, I mean, he must have realized their polling must have sunk overnight. It's like, oh, Trump's approval went down, but you notice how they stopped polling Democrat favorability? Anyone notice that?
Lol.
Anyone notice why I wonder why they stopped polling Democrat favorability. That was a big story 2 weeks ago, but they stopped. I wonder why. I wonder why they stopped. I can only imagine.
So, here's a chart that I found that I saw last night about I guess Democrat candidates, and again this is from someone on Libby T. But
oh, this guy's a dumbass. I'm not gonna promote him.
But
American Nerd for 3. This gives me hope for 26 and 28. We'll see. I guess I'll pull the chart. I'm not gonna show who posted it because the guy's a friggin'
show the chart. I mean, this is kind of, I guess, a Democrat point of view of some of these candidates. So
this guy's
all it's convincing me is that the Democrat point of view is worthless.
What is
like
this?
Actually worthless?
Okay, let's just read some of it. Okay. Reading too many polls for his own good and shift right in trans issues and inviting people. What the hell? Reading too many polls. Okay, this like I said.
I mean, Newsom's kind of stuck at like high single digits, anyways, and I don't think he's going to get out of that hole. I mean, he's just the governor of California, and even then, he's just.
Hold up. Grew a beard and appeared on lots of podcasts. Still probably the best communicator in the party, but Pete Buttigieg. What?
Oh yeah, because he did like a Jubilee video or something. I don't know.
Democrats need to fight back for real. Oh my! This guy's terminally online. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell who showed this because this guy's.
My favorite part my favorite part at the bottom, which you guys just take a good long laugh at this. Tim Walz, free from the shackles of the Harris campaign on a speaking tour, trying out different messages. Hard to see what his lane is in the primary.
Guys, this is why the Democrat Party's like just done.
They're so
hard to
stupid.
see what his lane is in the
These people run this party. What the
hard
hell
to see
is
what
this?
his lane is. I'm trying to read some of this stuff. So hard to see what his lane is in the primary. I mean, that kind of makes sense because I guess a lot of Walz's base would probably just be people who would support Pete Buttigieg instead.
Yeah.
It just depends, I guess, on who runs. Walz, I don't know. I don't think Walz will be the nominee.
Raphael Warnock, one of the best speakers in the party. Genuine opportunity to excite black voters in general election, but tough to get. Oh my gosh.
Well, that is probably a reason why Warnock wouldn't run.
The second half, fine, but oh my gosh.
Well, I think he can excite black voters.
Yeah, but the trends are just getting so bad for Democrats. Wouldn't even matter. Like that much. SOV for 27. What?
I mean, he mentions Westmore and John Fetterman. Neither of them are going to run. Eric Adams is probably going to be in prison by then. So. Raimondo will probably run. I don't even see her making it. I mean, she may make it to like one debate, and then we'll probably. She's going to drop out by like December of 2020.
SOVN for 27. Donald Trump's going. Biden's fault today is horrible optics. No, just Trump being Trump. Don't look too much into it.
The Polis praising RFK Jr. I mean, I don't know. I think he's just going to go to the Senate after his term is up. I don't think he's going to run for president.
Let's see. Maybe the only Democrat who has any cross-vote credibility on the border. What? Oh my gosh.
I mean, he's Hispanic, so.
This freaking. That's what I'm saying. The guy that posts this is literally a dumbass.
But on the other hand, Gallego. I mean, I'm trying to put my thoughts on Carlson aside. Yes, I know Adam Carlson. Yes, that's the guy. I'm trying to put my thoughts on him aside. I'm kind of trying to look at it for like a nuanced point of view.
I'm looking mostly like the only one that kind of makes sense, like Josh Shapiro, but the rest is just bullshit. It's really just wish cast.
I guess even like the AOC again one, like, yeah, she does get good crowds. She is the Bernie heir apparent. She would have the left wing to herself because I don't know what other progressive would run against her.
But it's like her crowd still has a bunch of old ass white people. So I don't know.
She's probably the only Democrat, in my opinion, that would actually have some kind of youth appeal. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, they're still moving right, so she could probably latch on to whatever's left. At least she'd probably have the easiest time latching on to whatever's left. Along with maybe someone like Chris Murphy. I don't know. That's probably a stretch.
Simple logic.
Murphy would probably be the running mate, honestly.
All right. Simple logic for 2. DNC are just old horse girls and theater kids. Yeah. Not wrong. Hold on. Marco Rubio said some of the cabinet room had a dossier on them at the State Department under Biden to censor them. Wait, what?
No.
Hold up. Rubio dossier.
From townhall.com.
Wow, that's real. Eric for 5. Warnock is overrated. He barely beat 2 horrible candidates. Didn't do well in the debate against Walker, and has tons of skeletons in his closet. The only thing that saves him is he the pastor at MLK's church, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only thing that keeps him afloat.
I think Warnock, in my opinion, if he ran for if he was a Democrat nominee, I do think he'd win Georgia. I think he's probably one of the nominees I'd be a little scared of. Along with maybe somebody, Bashir, if he ran as a populist, Charlie Kirk said the same thing. Like Bashir, if he ran as a populist, could be a threat. And Fetterman wouldn't even make it past the primary. Yeah, Fetterman would probably not even. I mean, he's not going to run anyways.
Yeah, so apparently this is real. Yeah, Marco Rubio is saying that somebody was trying to blackmail the cabinet at the State Department. Holy shit. Pam Bondi, where the hell are you at? Where is she?
Across the table from
Sean
Marco
Hannity.
Rubio.
Sean Hannity. Yeah, so apparently it's real. There's at least one person at this table who had a dossier in that building. This is black. Holy shit. They're trying to blackmail the cabinet. Listen, hopefully this gives them the excuse to finally go after people. Enough. This is insane. So you're telling me
again, it's like
go on.
Go ahead.
No, go on.
I'm just saying, it's like we talk so much about all of this, and when we're talking about the progress the Trump administration has made, I think people don't realize how far left the cart had been pulled. We were at the point where if we had lost the previous election, multiple people in that cabinet meeting would be in prison probably the rest of their lives. And so it's just like when people don't realize, like when you have a giant massive organization with thousands, tens of thousands of employees, it does not magically change overnight. I'm very glad that we have competent people in charge, but the people that we're going to censor and imprison, the people at this table at the cabinet meeting, they probably still work at the State Department.
Yeah. Fire all
I'm going
of
to be
them.
honest with you.
Get rid of every single one of them. Which we are cleaning house everywhere. At the DOJ, we cleaned house. State Department, we're slowly doing that. It's a start, but start throwing people in jail. You gotta hold people accountable. So, hold up. Oh my gosh. Right guy in chat is saying Pam is probably busy getting her back blown up by Hannity. Oh my gosh.
You know, I mean, it's not the first time I've, there's probably been an affair between Hannity and somebody.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, also, leading reports has something about RFK Jr.
What now?
RFK Jr. Claims that during the Biden administration, HHS became a collaborator in child trafficking for S-word and slavery.
What?
But that he has now put an end to it.
Yeah, this is from... wait, hold up. You're not joking.
Mm-hmm.
We have ended HHS as a role the principal vector in this country for child trafficking. During the Biden administration, HHS became a collaborator in child trafficking. What the hell? Throw people in jail. Enough's enough. We can never let these people get power again. This is just batshit crazy. So, I'm starting to wonder, did they purposely keep the border open for this crap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they... if it comes out that HHS was doing this and they were in charge of it...
And that's why the children that were being trafficked over the border had those bans. They had them based off of specifically what kind of sale they were.
I remember they got caught with that.
Yeah.
RFK is such a great sleeper. Oh yeah, RFK's been fantastic. He's been amazing. He's been probably my favorite secretary, I would say. My number one. Bondi, do your job or get out. Yeah. It's time for Pam Bondi to do her damn job. Again, she's starting to do more. That's a start. They're starting to go after some of these people. That's a good thing, but gotta do more. Gotta do more. Hopefully, Bonnie's busy preparing cases, not just preparing for Fox News interviews. I did hear, and I hate to admit this, but apparently there are some cases being built up right now. So that's what I heard from some people. But is that true? We'll see. Better be true. Trump has said that Carney called him. He wants to make a deal and will likely come to the White House in the coming days. Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Is our predictions about a trade deal want to be true?
Well, no, like, again, it's like, we were reading tea leaves, but the tea leaves weren't that hard to read, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no. Carney had a deal arranged with Trump. He just had to win an election first. Now Carney's going to hop over. He's going to fix everything. And guess what? It's going to make the liberals' polling numbers go up, probably.
Yeah, probably go up. Be like, stopped Orange Man.
We stopped Orange Man. Aren't we so much better than the conservatives?
Oh my gosh. Let's see here. I know it's a boomer con saying the Dems are the party of human traffickers. Yeah. And you know who was right again? You know who was right about that?
Alex Jones.
Yeah. He called us like a year ago. He was saying like the Biden administration's into some shady shit. And he was right. I don't know how that guy just predicts everything. How? How the hell does he do it?
Inside sources, I guess.
But like, to be that scary accurate, it's like, My gosh.
And Michelle Obama, I think, accidentally called herself a black man. So.
I saw that. I think she misspoke. We'll see though, but. Like I said, Carney was lying when he said he'd stand up to Orange Man. Canadian liberals are so fucking stupid, Lamau. They really wanted Carney decoupled from the U.S. when they have no other options. Yeah, it's like, what other options do they got? What other options has Canada got?
I don't know. Call another election, I guess. I don't know.
Call another one. And Carney's support goes up after they get a trade deal. I'm gonna laugh hysterically.
Atlanta Fed GDP now growth estimate for Q2 is 2.4%.
Oh, it's going up by 2.5%. Oh, how convenient. Did they say it was like -3 or whatever? Oh no, was it?
Yeah.
Or which Fed was that? There's like 5 of them. Which one was it? One of them had like -3.
Might have been the one up by like New York or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard has revoked 67 security clearances at the direction of Donald Trump. I don't know exactly who these 67 are, but
Tulsi's been fantastic also.
Yeah.
So again, what I do think is going on, why it's a bit slow, I think I'm starting to understand it. The reason that we're not getting arrests right away is they're cleaning house right now. At the DOJ, at the CIA, at the FBI. They're cleaning house right now. And they're going after people now. Well, let's hope that's the case, but... Anyways. For an economic contraction in Q1, the market drop today was rather tame than I thought. Well, because people began to realize, oh, wait, investment went up 10%, and Qantas Insights, again, they posted something else. Where is it at? Where do they post that? Where are you at? Right here. Yeah, so they look more into the numbers, and the tariff front running massive, an epic CAPEX surge, a 10% boom in business investment. Structures went up 10%, equipment went up 27%, IP products went up 8%. Past mechanical subtractions, there are no signs of domestic weakness. There was unexpected, this was expansion underneath. So, people realizing that, oh wait, the GDP went down, but that's because of the imports, not because the economy is suddenly shrinking and crashing. Which, you know, if they want GDP to go up, wouldn't they want imports to go down? Right? Is that the whole point? Because imports are down, GDP goes up, right? Surely. Alright. So I think that's it, everybody. If anyone got any more super chats, send them now. Last calls for super chats.
By the way, do you see this graph or this map of like the college campuses?
I saw that.
Specifically, look at the ones in the South.
Yeah, Democrats have a big problem.
Yeah, Texas. I think there was only one that moved left, and I think that's...
Is that Colorado?
I think that's Colorado State, or it's like Boulder. No, not Boulder. Boulder moved right. I think it's...
So that's Colorado State then, probably.
Yeah, Fort Collins, so that would be... Yeah, Colorado State.
Now, for those that don't know, this is the swing of young voters on college campuses. It was a big swing everywhere. But the thing that's the biggest takeaway, in my opinion, is these are just on college campuses. Right? Mm-hmm. These are people that live on campuses, and we've talked a lot about this. The people that live on campus are more liberal, I believe, right? That's what we said before. And the ones that like live off campus are usually more Republican. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but that's what I've heard. So this is people on campus, and they swung everywhere. So the swings are even better for Trump across the board.
Yeah, I think some of the biggest swings that we have, I believe we have Idaho, or it's either Idaho or Washington. I think it's Idaho. And then there's Texas A&M.
Holy shit.
I think that's Ole Miss in Mississippi. But yeah. And I think there's one in like Northwest. I think that's North Dakota.
Wait, you look at this, and these people just on campus. That's what it sounds like, yeah. Young voters on college campuses. So, you include the people off campus, this is probably double the swing. Even Madison.
Yeah, we can't exactly tell anyways.
What?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell, anyways.
Yeah, but
so I want to make 2 points since we're at the end of the stream. The first one, this is being written by a horrible person, but go on federalregistry.gov if you don't like what Trump's doing, because you can find all the executive orders listed. It's all of them. I don't think whitehouse.gov lists all the orders
yeah,
particularly, but you go on federalregistry.gov and look at all of them, because Trump has enacted more executive orders in his first 100 days than FDR did in his first 100 days. Which, FDR did a lot. By the end of his 4 terms, FDR had done 8,000 executive orders, so he was a pretty big deal there. But yeah, no, Trump succeeded FDR, and he's really taken that place. It's executive government, not necessarily the ideal form of government, but when Congress is useless and the judiciary is hostile, I'm very proud of the executive branch for picking up the mantle and doing this. So seriously, go look at that. Also, I just encourage people to go, look up Agenda 47 and click platform at the top of the thing, and look at the 20 promises that Donald Trump made when we first went on here. It's donaldjtrump.com/platform. These are the 20 promises that he made that were his agenda when he got into office. And for all 20 of them, he's either already done it or he is working towards it. He is trying to fulfill
right here.
Basically essentially every promise he made in writing on the campaign trail. He's trying to do all of it.
Let's see here.
And I think that's a wonderful thing.
Seal the border is done. There's literally like 0 migrants now. Carry out the largest deportation operation in history. That's to be determined. And inflation. That's looking good. True inflation is way down. Make America the dominant energy producer. We'll see. Stop outsourcing and return the United States to a manufacturing superpower. We're getting like a bunch of major companies moving back here. So yeah. Large tax cuts for workers. We're working on that. Defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, to be determined. Prevent World War III, looking good. End the weaponization of government against the American people, good. Stop the migrant crime epidemic, good. Rebuild our cities, to be determined. Strengthen and modernize our military, working on that. Keep the U.S. dollars reserve currency. That China's fucked now. That's not going to happen. So, fight to protect Social Security, yeah. Cancel the electric vehicle mandates, yes. Cut federal funding, yes. For schools pushing critical race theory. Keep men out of women's sports, yes. Deport pro-Hamas radicals, yes. Secure our elections, working on that. Unite our country. Yeah. He's done basically everything. Yeah. Or he's working on
and for the things that we're still working on, securing our elections, he's made executive orders to secure our elections and require standards for, federal election voting. Even with like the energy dominance thing, he's done like 10 executive orders, I think, on energy dominance. So
breaking news. Coming soon, the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Dubai.
Great. Another tower. I thought Trump's company was dead. I thought it was bankrupt.
His kids are running it now, so.
Hendon Hooker stand for fight. Bonnie shouldn't have pulled that stupid Epstein stunt. If she kept her mouth shut, people would have more sympathy for her. Oh, I agree. I think that's what made people realize she's not that good. But alright. So I think that's everybody. If anyone got any more super chats on the now, last calls or super chats, I think that is it. We'll be back probably Friday for a stream, more than likely. So I think that's it. We'll see you guys in the next stream, video, wherever you see us at. Godspeed to all of you.